Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch another lovely day in the Ozarks. But what's going on around the world, I think we could possibly be, and I'm making a prediction or anything like that, but I think the way things are working out right now, we could be just days away from some new development. I'm not talking about like World War III starts, like the big one. I'm saying that things are developing very rapidly, strangely, probably more so than they have recently, which is saying a lot. So I think that we could see some stuff happening maybe this week, this weekend. Anyways, let me get into it. Number one, this isn't related to the rest of the video, but I just wanted to throw this out there. I might go into another video, but we'll see. But the president has announced his new appointee for the CDC director. And of course, she's pro this stuff. She worked for DARPA. She was a director at DARPA. If you don't know what DARPA is, you need to do some research. Big time, like DARPA. Go search that. Figure out what DARPA is if you don't know what it is. And there's a video of her floating around when she was a director there, talking about how AI is going to improve our lives so much. It will make health so much better, that we need to have this AI into our lives, and it needs to be integrated with us and all this kind of stuff. So anyways, I thought I'd throw that out there. So I guess let's kick off talking about these chat messages that's been released. I don't know how many of you have been really paying attention to it, but it's been kind of the big news for the last couple of days. I mentioned it in a video yesterday or the day before that the Secretary of Defense, the National Security Advisor, and the Vice President, and several other high-level White House officials were all in this Signal chat, and they were talking about what's going on over in the Middle East with the Houthis in Yemen and all this kind of stuff. Well, apparently someone had accidentally added a journalist from the Atlantic, actually a very anti-Trump, far left-leaning journalist. And the guy just sat there quietly watching all of this chat between these high-level officials, talking about the war, talking about the aggressive actions that we're taking against Yemen, the Houthis. Yesterday, there was some Senate hearings and stuff, and they were saying, listen, nothing was classified. There were no war plans, because that's how it was originally released. There was a few screenshots released, and they're saying, no, it's nothing like that. Well, today, actually just a little bit ago, that journalist in the Atlantic have released all, or at least a bunch more, of those screenshots, and they're pretty damning. And one of them, the Secretary of Defense, and this is the thing, this just yesterday or the day before, the Secretary of Defense said that there were no war plans, there was nothing classified in those screenshots and stuff. And the ones released today, he actually goes through a timeline. He posts a timeline in detail. At this time, this many F-18s will attack. At this time, this many of timelines, their attacks, and what weapons will be used. That sounds like war plans to me. That sounds pretty classified, that they wouldn't want that information getting out ahead of time. And this guy didn't do that. He held on to it. There's also, I think this is going to be a big thing. And I say this because it's already got legs, and it's not just the far left that's just eating this up. A lot of the Trump conservatives are coming out saying this is really messy. Now, of course, there's always those die-hard, Trump could be doing the most ghastly, horrible thing, and they'd still support him. But a lot of them are saying this is bad. You need to clean house. This needs to be taken care of. You need to. Shortly after this release this morning, the White House made a statement that this is fake news. Even though yesterday, under Senate confirmation or Senate hearing, they admitted that it was a real thing, that the chat really existed. But now they're saying it's fake news. It's just kind of a distraction. there's a lot of stuff, and I think there was like 6 or 8 screenshots. There's one in there of the vice president making a statement about, if we do this, if we go full force onto Houthis in the Yemen and Iran and everything, that, you know, oil prices will most likely spike. And he even says, and this is maybe another one, something to the effect that I don't think the president fully understands this, kind of questioning the president, maybe questioning his mental capacity, questioning his understanding. I don't know. So there's that out there. But I think that this is going to grow legs. And the reason why I think it's significant is that if it starts to really grow and look really bad over the next, 24, 48, 72 hours, whatever, we could see the U.S. government do some action to take attention off of it. I think Iran would be probably the most likely choice. If all the attention is on, because these chats primarily are dealing with the Houthis in Yemen, I just kind of have a feeling that they wouldn't do that, because that's where all the attention is at. Maybe it'll be Iran. There's a interesting also yesterday, Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, at a Senate hearing was talking about Russia, Ukraine. And it's interesting, I keep talking about how there's this appearance of this flip-flopping back and forth, where we're aligning with Russia. No, we're aligning with Ukraine. No, we're on Russia's side. No, we're on Ukraine's side. Russia's the good guy. Russia's the bad guy. This back and forth, back and forth. So yesterday, she said that that it was worrisome, and I'm very much paraphrasing, but worrisome that Russia was has the edge over Ukraine, that's bad, and that there was a belief that at some point in the near future, Russia could very much use a nuclear weapon, some type of tactical nuke or something against Ukraine. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, you're over here on one hand talking about how there's such a relationship and how we're working towards peace, and then now all of a sudden your intelligence is saying that no, they're getting the upper hand, and that's bad, and that they could likely use a nuke in the coming near future. So I don't think everything is as it seems. You may really, really like Donald Trump and support him fully. You may not. It doesn't matter. The point is that he is a showman. He is a showman. He's good at taking a deal and making it look really good no matter how bad it is, and he's good at that. He's a good showman. And so you have to realize that a lot of this stuff that he posts and he talks about of what's going on between him and Putin and the whole peace deal, there's definitely some showmanship, I think, that's going on there. And so we have to remember that. The European Union has issued a warning, declaration, whatever, to all of its citizens, all of Europe, that they need to get ready. They need to build up their prepping supplies for war, because it's coming. Now, of course, they're saying they need to have at least 3 days of food on hand, which is ridiculous. They need to have at least 3 months. Probably 3 years would be best, because this thing gets kicked off, it's going to be a mess. But at least they're giving them specifics. Store up bottled water, store this. I think it was the Lithuanian prime minister just days ago stated that that the reason why they have to continue to support Ukraine is because Ukraine is buying them time. Ukraine is buying them time by holding the Russians off so Europe can get prepared, because it's going to war with Russia. I mean, that, again, very paraphrased, but that's pretty much what he said. Europe is determined, I believe, to go to war with Russia. So that's happening. And then you go down here to the Middle East with Iran, and that's heating up. It's been pretty much confirmed that there are, as much as you can, because it's classified information, 7 stealth B-2 bombers are in the Indian Ocean at Diego Garcia base, and then they've also issued a no-fly zone till May 1st over that base. So there's definitely stuff going on. There's a lot of U.S. military activity in the air from the Indian Ocean up into the Middle East. So there's training, there's maneuvers, there's stuff going on. France yesterday did a full nuclear war drill where they actually simulated flying planes and dropping nukes. That's France. So the point is that there's a lot of stuff going on. And this chat leak thing looks really, really bad. You know, up until now, with this administration, the only thing that looked bad is if you disagreed with their actions. But for the most part, they did not look completely incompetent, or they were able to hide it, or they looked really great, or whatever. This looks really bad. It looks really bad because, I mean, I'm not a judge, but just yesterday they were saying that it wasn't war plans. There was nothing sensitive, classified leak. It was just a chat. And then today, when it's actually released, well, it looks like war plans. It looks like pretty sensitive stuff. And then, like I said, there's that little chat in there kind of criticizing the president. He's not going to like that. It's also interesting that we've been waiting months now for the Epstein list, and we don't get it. But yet we can get this kind of stuff. We can get war plans the next day released. So I suspect that something will happen to draw attention. And it could be the Epstein. You know, we could see some, person that's on the Epstein list get arrested in the next few days. It's not just this administration, it's how politics goes. They've got a black eye, the first real one. They've been caught lying with their pants down, all that kind of stuff. And they're most likely going to distract. And the question is, what is that? It's got to be pretty big because this is a big story. Is it going to be Epstein? Is it going to be an attack on Iran or some major action in the Middle East or, in Ukraine? Something. And I would just suggest you get ready because this is, there's a lot of things heating up. And then you add this in that there's this black eye that's happened. It's very possible that these things that are heating up could be used to distract from that. So anyways, you should be getting ready. And, just like the European Union, you need to be stocking up. But don't do 3 days or 3 months. You need to be stocking up a lot. Because as this continues, just like those chats I just mentioned, the vice president himself said that the oil prices could skyrocket. And so be ready for that. And then other things, other prices increase with tariffs and war and stuff. It always causes the availability of goods to go down and the price of things to go up. So be ready for that. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.